From the ground up. From the ground up. There's only one way to go from here.
Welcome to the podcast from Doug Ground Up Productions with hosts Lady Miz and Ray. This is a universal platform, and there is nothing off limits. We talk about it all, and we keep it real. This is a no judgment zone, so come as you are. If you are a professional, entertainer, author, comedian, entrepreneur, or just someone who wants to get something off their chest, well, let your voice be heard here on From the Ground Up Productions. Sponsorship and other opportunities are available from the Ground Up Productions. Turning nothing into something. There's only one way to go from here. And now, here are your hosts, Lady Miz and Ray.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to From the Ground Up podcast. We got a special guest today, a super dope, talented artist by the name of Krystal Klear, and we're about to get it popping. What's good?
What's good, Lady Miz? What's up, Ray? How y'all doing?
How you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for inviting me onto this platform. I'm so appreciative. And we stuck down here in South Florida. Have y'all been watching the news about South Florida? It's the hot spot now. So
I see, because everybody was at the beaches. We were out.
Exactly. Memorial Day, Miami protests, everything. So we stuck now. So.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's kind of crazy everywhere right now.
It is crazy.
So how are you dealing with all of this that's going on?
It's interesting because it's like, as much as you like to watch, first of all, I gotta tune the news out because it's just like, it's so hard to hear those numbers. And I was listening to the news and I heard that, like, okay, the numbers in Florida have surpassed New York. And I'm like, okay, what is going on? But we still have to be out here. We still have to eat. We still have to work. Yeah. We still have to provide. And that's what we're doing. I mean, we just take it day by day, try to be as safe and healthy as we can. Right. But we still out here, grinding and working. I mean, what can you do? You can't lay down and die. You gotta keep going. So, but it's a wilderness out here. It's dangerous, and the numbers just keep going and inflating, and people are dying, and it's just like one of those things. It's like what is going to happen? It's so unprecedented. You can't even predict what's going to happen. So, but we working. That's our hashtag. We do that every day to each other. We working.
Yeah, so you're being able to get work done during this time. Do you find it easier or difficult?
Well, so I'm a business owner as well, and I've been pretty fortunate in that I didn't lose any projects, I didn't lose any clients in that regard. So I'm still keeping it. But as far as the music is concerned, and being a new artist out here and trying to promote has been very difficult. Obviously, a lot of our projects have gotten delayed, especially video production. Mm-hmm. And, we're trying to work through that, trying to come up with all kinds of different marketing plans. It's hard for new artists to promote because not only do you want to promote the audio, the sound, you want people to be able to see you. We want to come out with all these amazing visuals, and we're writers. So we've got video treatments, written everything, and we can't do it. We can't film because we have to be safe. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you do? So, we just keep working and keep creating. We're in the studio constantly, just writing and just kind of being prepared for when the time comes that we can, some of these restrictions can relax so we can get back to work, because our plans were just absolutely thwarted. It's like, okay, yes. We can't do, because we didn't expect this to happen. So it's like, 2020 is going to be one for the history books, so.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be one for the history books.
This year's over already. I'm already waiting for next year. This year's done with this year.
I know. And that's such a sad way to think about it too, because what are we getting ready to go into August? And it's like, if things don't improve, I give myself, if I said to somebody, I was talking to my nephew, I was like, if things don't improve by Halloween, I put Halloween on. I was like, if things don't improve by Halloween, we might count it out. just count it out. There's nothing. So, but I mean, we're gonna try to stay optimistic and do what we can do to promote and just keep working and keep trying to put out some music and do what we can, you know. I mean, to try to get the Krystal Klear and my team to get us out here, you know. So
yes, but I see that you guys are moving, and I still see you working, so that's great. You got some songs out. So let's talk about, tell the people where you're from. That way people can get a little history or background on you.
Yes. Well, I was born in the South. I was born in New Orleans. I wasn't raised there, though. My family and I, we as a toddler, we moved to Chicago. We stayed there for a couple of years, and then we went to upstate New York, to Syracuse, where I was raised. And so yeah, and I know everyone likes to tease me. All my team members that are from New York, they say that's not New York, that's Canada. You're Canadian. No, I'm not Canadian. But you know,
we're upstate New York, so not that far up. But we're upstate New York. So
we're in upstate New York.
We're in Middletown. We're in Middletown, New York, next to it's not far from Woodbury Commons. Yes, so that's where we're at.
That's see. I can't wait for everybody to see this because when I put on my, like you have on Ray, when I put on my New Yorker, they call me an imposter. They like, oh, you fraudulent. You fraudulent. Take that off.
Well, we live here now. He's originally from the Bronx. I'm originally from Philly, but we rep 845 up here, upstate New York, because that's where we at.
Good, but yeah, so
718 the Bronx.
Oh, there they go.
All my peeps are from Brooklyn, Queens, you know, hardcore. They're like, you are not from New York. Like, and we had a whole debate don't even ask me how we did this. We had this entire debate last weekend about LL and MC Shan, and we got oh my God, we went way back, and they were just like, and you know the reason why you didn't know? I'm like, why? And they said because you was in Syracuse. I was like, oh.
They always try to play us.
They always trying to do that.
No.
Yeah, but yeah, so raised in Syracuse. Went to grew up there. Went to college in Syracuse. Graduated from Syracuse University. So just my whole life is all upstate New York.
Okay.
And then, I like to tell people that I was born singing, dancing, creating. I mean, as much, most of us artists will say, this is in our DNA. This is what we did. But, I was raised in a traditional household, I would say, very traditional, where my parents didn't necessarily discourage us from being in the arts, my sister and I, if you will, but they didn't encourage it in a sense that they were like, okay, this is what you're going to pursue. So yes, so I went to college and got the degree and did all that kind of stuff. And so that, you're talented, but you're going to go to school, you're going to get a degree, you're going to get a job kind of household. And so, so that's my background really. But it's as far as the music is concerned, like I said, it's always been something that's been in my blood. I've been. So
you were dancing before?
I'm a closet dancer.
Hey, it's on your resume.
I'm a closet dancer. That's what I like to call it. But yeah, but I'm just saying that as if I would just my love of the arts and the performing arts goes all the way back from when I can remember, being a child, being 3 and 4 years old, and just dancing, singing, acting, creating. It just was comfortable for me. It was where I shined, I would say.
Okay.
Okay. Now I got a question. You say I see you had business management as what you studied in school. How do you incorporate that into your music as promoting your music?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's an interesting question because before even really going hard with the music like what we're doing right now, I'm a business owner. My company, I'm a marketing company. I own a marketing company, and so what I do to make a living is I'm a writer. I'm a content creator. I'm in marketing. I'm a ghostwriter, a graphic designer.
Oh, okay.
All of those things, everything. And so that's I started my business 3 years ago. 3 years ago, and that has prepared me because a lot of my clients are in the arts, actors, singers, authors. And so just always being in that end of the creativity, it's obviously carried forward with me with the music because I am a writer, because I'm an artist, because I'm a content creator, It helps with as far as the promotion is concerned, because we do everything in house. I mean, we are a one-stop shop, and when I say that, I'm talking everything from cover art to the social media aspect of it. Like I said, we write the video treatments. We have filmmakers and directors on our team. We've got photographers on our team. We're all like in-house, and I create the content. This is what I do for a living. So now that I have to kind of I got to come from behind the scenes. I'm used to being behind the scenes. I got to come into the forefront now and carry that part of the professionalism into the creativity. And it's just been a seamless transition, I would say. So that's that, I can bring that to the table, that part of me to the table, into creating the music.
Now, when you say we, is it you and
is that the 12 Tribe music label?
Tribes, yes, 12 Tribes music label, producer Juice the Witch Doctor.
Shout out to Juice.
Yes, absolutely. So my team is my label, which is 12 Tribes Music. And then we also, in association with the Nexus, and that's where we have the rest of our producers. Our executive management is in New York. And so it's definitely a team effort. It's all the team. We come together. We've got writers, myself. I've got a few label mates that we correspond with. That we coordinate with and work with constantly. So when I talk about myself, I'm talking about myself and the team, because we do everything together.
How many people is on your team? How many people y'all got?
So we got Juice. We got executive management out of New York. That's Musa Moore. Hey, Musa. Myself, JB, the great, who we call the Hook Master. He's one of our writers. Kane is one of our producers. E. Earn is one of our producers. How many did I count off? Like six in the team.
Yeah,
and
six.
Then, and a lot of the artists that we work with. I mean, you'll when you hear my releases coming out, I have, we just collaborate with one another on track after track after track. And so you'll be introduced to them through a couple of the next releases that I'm coming out with. So.
And do you write for other, you said you're a ghostwriter as well, so you write for other artists?
Well, a lot of my ghostwriting up until this point is books, articles, blogs, and things of that nature for artists and scripts. But yes, I have written some hooks for on certain tracks that have yet to be released. But the majority of my work is on my own stuff. They give me the tracks and say, write whatever you feel, and that's what I do. So.
Wow. Okay. All right. So when did you start doing music? Like, when was that moment where you knew that this is what you wanted to do?
Oh my goodness. That's such an interesting question, because it's what I've always wanted to do. It's not what I've always done, but it's what I've always wanted to do. Again, being raised in a very traditional household, it was like, you're going to go to school, you're going to get an education, you're going to get a job, you're going to do those things. And so that's just that was what was instilled in me. But did I still have the love of the music? Did I still write? I did all of those things creatively all through my life. I would say just within the last 5 years, the music has become more tangible. Whereas before it seemed like almost like I hate to say fantasy, but like it just seemed like, okay, well, you can sing, you're talented, you're creative, this, that, and the other, but are you ever going to actually pursue music? I almost wasn't in the forefront a few years ago, but then, you team up with, it's like being in the perfect place and the perfect time with the perfect circumstances, the perfect people in your life, and they come along, and all that alchemy comes together. And that's when you say, wow, we're doing this, right? And so that's my story. I mean, I can tell you, I wrote my first song when I was 4.
Right, I think I did read that.
Because that's the truth. I mean, I wrote this song when I was 4 years old. It was called "What You Gonna Do When I'm Gone."
Wow, you remember it?
Oh yeah, I can sing it for you. I don't remember all the words, but it said, "What you gonna do when I'm gone? What you gonna do when I'm gone?
Hey.
What you gonna do when I walk out that door? What you gonna do when I'm gone? And I sang it.
What did you know about that at 4 years old, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's what's so funny. We should create a track for it and sing it now. I should surface that. But no, yeah, I sang that into a tape recorder, and I made this whole song, and I had the little music going and everything, and you know, I think that was pretty much the words. I might have said some other things. I didn't know anything about anybody being gone. Wrote it.
Oh my God! So
so.
You're very talented. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
I want to know, what was it that was holding you back from doing it? I mean, you've been doing it for so long and at such a young age. What was it that was stopping you?
That's, it's just, I mean, life happens, honestly, and again, when you're not around certain people that encourage you and inspire you to do it, it just becomes something that you do in the background. I sing every day. I used to write every day. I did all of those things, but it was just, life happens. You get up, you go to work, I don't regret that, because I've been very successful in my career. So I don't regret, taking that time to develop as a person, develop professionally, have a skill set that I can always, quote unquote, fall back on, if you will. And I guess that's just the way I approached it. It was just, again, if I was like 5 years ago, you just meet the right people, you just start vibing, and you start realizing that you can actually pursue your dreams, something that you put on the shelf. And then, because you put it on the shelf, you don't forget about it, but you put it on the shelf, and it's like, okay, will I ever do that? And, Juice is a big part of that. He was just like, we would get to talking, because he's always done music. He's done everything. He's a black belt grandmaster martial artist. He's an action actor. He's all these things.
Okay.
And for him, music was also one of those things, like, I'll get to music when I'm ready to get to music. And then all of a sudden, here it is in front of you. And it's like, okay, am I going to take this chance and do this and actually pursue it? And the answer this time was yes. So
good for you.
Yes.
Are you happy that you did it? Are you?
I am, but it's new for me. It's all new territory. I have to say, I have a lot to learn.
Okay.
I do. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm, because I'm a new artist. It's one thing being creative and having the skill, but there's so much that goes into that. Like I said, I've always been a behind the scenes person. So me having to be in the forefront, that's new for me. And just, and I'm bashful. I know I don't come off that way, but, I'm very bashful. I would say I'm shy. That stopped me a lot, and then just having this fear, like, okay, am I going to succeed? Am I going to do this? Am I going to fall on my face? All those things go into your mind, but, it's all new territory for me. Me being on this podcast with you is new territory for me. It's like, and I appreciate having the platform, because it's allowing me to come out of my shell.
Yes.
Whereas before, it was safer for me to just be behind the scenes and create for people that wanted to be in the forefront, promoting themselves. I was the one creating the material to give to them, so they can go out and promote themselves. Now I have to be the one. I'm the one who's doing it. So
let me just tell you this. One thing I want to say is, the first advice that I would give is know what you want. Because a lot of times, like when you say, if I'm going to fail, but what is failure? Failure could be different for many different people. So you might want something out of this that is different from somebody else. So, because a lot of times, a lot of people think that they failed and probably didn't. Maybe you got what you really wanted. And if you're not measuring yourself to nobody else or what anybody else's expectations, and you go for what you want, you will be able to do it, because you've already successful. You got businesses and you're doing well. So
thank you for saying that. And I appreciate that, because as you go on in this lifetime, the way I like to look at success is if I can wake up in the morning and say, I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm doing it to the fullest, and I'm aligning with my purpose, and being able to wake up and sustain from what it is that I love to do, to me, that's success. That's success. It's just, there is a fear factor that comes into putting yourself out there, and it's new for me. So, I'm embracing it. I'm embracing it wholeheartedly. And, I was talking because, I had, oh my goodness, these photo shoots and everything. And I was like, good Lord, could they create a lens that doesn't put 20 pounds on you? Like, and somebody spin a lens that doesn't put 30 pounds already on you. I'm like, I need to figure this stuff out. And Juice is like, you better go in the bathroom, and start rehearsing your angles and doing all this stuff and figuring it out, because you're not going to always be in control. So, I mean, all of that stuff is new territory for me. And so I'm embracing it wholeheartedly. Yes.
Well, all your pictures look great. You look great.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Real quick, when I see a lot of singers, a lot of them say, hey, I learned how to sing. I started singing in the church. Was that?
No, not me. I was singing at birth. I mean, I'm just gonna, honestly, I know a lot of people say that, but I just don't remember a time in my life where I wasn't singing, where I wasn't dancing, where I wasn't acting, where I wasn't, creating little jingles. It's just in my blood. And no, I didn't sing in the church at all. I mean, I sang when we went to church, but I wasn't in the choir or anything like that. I did, though, when I was in school, I did perform. I did a lot of plays. I was always in the chorus. I played the violin. So, I mean, I wasn't a stranger to performing in that regard, but it's just something that's always been a part of me, I would say. And it's just me. I just don't remember a time where I wasn't singing.
You weren't.
And just always just creating.
Okay.
And yeah.
You said you went to Syracuse. I just got to ask this because I know there's a guy that I follow that was a teacher there. Are you familiar with Dr. Boyce Watkins?
No.
He was a teacher there. You should look him up.
Really? I will.
Oh my God.
Look him up. Is he still teaching?
He has his own business. He does separate, like the Black Business School and things like that. But he was, I know he was a teacher at Syracuse. So when you said that, I just wanted to ask.
I'll have to look him up.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So you said you took a break, right?
I did.
You took a break from music and decided to get back into it. So what was your reason? Because when I said you said, it was actually what I read. What was your reason for taking a break? Even though I read it, this is for the people too.
Yeah, the reason for taking a break was just, again, just life. Life happens, and you have to support yourself. And you know what? And it was also the opportunities that I had at that time. Being able to work within an entrepreneurial environment, and figuring out what my skill sets were, and that was fulfilling. I'm not going to sit here and say that I left music or I stopped wanting to be in the music because I decided that this was the better path for me. It was just the opportunities, just how life unfolded at the time. And when you have opportunities like that, you take them, and that's what I did. And so being in that professional environment for over a decade, it only enhanced who I was, so I would never change that. I feel like now is the time where I have the maturity, I'm grounded, and a lot of artists get mixed up in the music industry and don't know what the F, they're doing. And it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Very true.
So I feel like I have the maturity of mind and the presence of mind to do this now, where I can make good decisions and I can make my own, I can be in control.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in control now. So, I mean, and I don't think that I would have the balls to be that way if I didn't, conquer business first. And then now I can bring that and apply it to the music and apply it to the business side of the music and be confident as well. I don't think I would have even had the confidence. I hate to say that. People are like, what are you insecure about? Why don't, and I'm just like, I have insecurities just like everyone else, so that, taking that quote unquote break allowed me to grow as an individual. And then now I can bring all these things into the music and and then take it from there and just do nothing but grow. I mean, there's nothing to do but grow. I tell everyone, you know, I approach this like I have nothing to lose. What do you have to lose? Just do it. You know, at this point, what do you have to lose? Absolutely.
Now, as a female artist, do you find it difficult working with men? And you know, because
not at all.
Females say it's a lot difficult, you know, working with the male artists in the industry or doing anything like that.
Not at all. We collaborate. So, I mean, and maybe it's just fortunate being, you know, shouts to my team always. So much love to my team. It's just, maybe it's just being fortunate to have those group of individuals that are around you that support you no matter what. And I always tell them, look, I'm one of the guys. I feel like I'm one of the dudes all the time anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
And even just growing up, you know, we always had a lot of guy friends around us. I mean, we had our girls too, but we always, when I say we, I'm talking about my sister and I, we always had a circle of guys around us. And it's just natural to me. And so when we get in the studio, I get in the studio every Saturday. We like clockwork with our shit, you know, and it's like, when we get into the studio on Saturday, I'm always the only female there. And it's just natural to me. I haven't had any problems yet. And I'm praying that I don't, but no, we collaborate beautifully. So
that's good.
Your question, good. Ray, is no, not yet. No problem whatsoever. Working with men.
Is there any specific artist that inspired you at all? They could be out or not out, you know.
Well, you know, I have to go back to my early influences. One of my absolute favorites is Shaka Khan. Okay, Shaka Khan is one of my earliest influences. Tina Marie, believe it or not, is one of my earliest influences. Prince. If anybody was to ask me who's my all-time favorite artist, I would have to say it was Prince. Prince is just a dynamo. Was rest in power, Prince. Dynamo. And then later on in life, I got into a lot of the what they would call the neo soul artists, Amel Larue, Erykah Badu, those sounds. And who do I listen to now? I mean, I listen to everything. And see you and when you start to hear my music, you'll hear all of those influences come together. So like how I describe myself as a multi-genre artist, we don't put Krystal Klear into one box.
That's right.
And so you're gonna hear rock, you're gonna hear R&B, you're gonna hear hip hop, you're gonna hear all the sounds, and it's just who I am, and that's what the fans are gonna hear.
Good.
Now, how did you come up with the name Krystal Klear?
That was given to me. That name was given to me.
When you hear Krystal Klear, we normally use that as making sure you understand what I'm talking about.
You know what? You want me to tell you something? So right when I started my own business, I'm a huge MMA fan, mixed martial arts fan, UFC. I could talk to you about, you know, and Juice actually said, you know what? We're going to start a podcast where you're going to break down the fights and you're going to talk about the fights. He was like, and everybody's going to flock to you because you're a female and you're out there commentating on the fights and other stuff, and we're gonna call it Krystal Klear. And he said that to me like 3 years ago, and of course we never did. It was just something we laughed about. And so when we got back into the studio and I started recording, he said, "You're Krystal Klear. You know that, right?" I was like, "Absolutely." And it just wasn't even a question. It wasn't even a question. It's just, you know, I didn't say, no, I have a better name. No, Krystal Klear is the name.
That's it. So he said it, it stuck, and you kept it.
It stuck, and that's it. That's the name.
I like it, and I like the way you tell it too. It's nice. Yeah,
exactly.
Yes. Talk to us about this song, Nasty Girl.
Oh my gosh.
Give us I want to know all the details. Okay, what inspired you to write it?
Okay, right. Let me just tell you something. So, you know, when you make music and you're writing, a lot of people say, "Oh, I draw from my experiences, and you know, these are things I actually experienced." I'm going to tell you right now, the words in Ride, I've never experienced that before. However, it's a fantasy record. It's definitely not for the uninhibited. I mean, it is a very sexually explicit. So this is how it came about. JB the Great on my team. So Juice produced the track.
Okay.
JB the Great wrote a male version of Ride, right? And then the team got together and they were like, "Yo, let's do a female version of Ride, but let's make it like explicit as you can make it, as nasty as you can make it. I said, and y'all want me to do it? And they're like, yeah, you can do it. You do it as business. And at first, what we were planning on doing is it was going to be a reference track, and we were going to try to, shop it around, what have you. But I wrote that song, we recorded it, and it was like, oh no, now that's your song. So it's it's a sexy track. It's sexy, it's nasty, it's it's very risque. And what can I say? Like I tell people it's a fantasy track. It's like meeting somebody, seeing somebody across the room and just like letting it go from there. So that's what the song is about.
Well, guess what? We are gonna play a snippet of that song on the end of this podcast. So if you guys are watching right now, stay tuned and keep tuning in. You're gonna hear a snippet. You're not gonna hear the whole song because you gotta go and download her music.
Yes, thank you.
Go and download her music. So we're gonna play a snippet of the song for y'all, and that way y'all can hear a sneak peek.
Yes.
Yes. Now, talk to me. Like, how do you feel about the music industry right now? Like, since you've gotten into it and the things that you have learned so far, how do you feel about it?
I'm gonna tell you what, it's so much different, isn't it? It's so much different. Yeah. Music, the way we consume music is different. And I guess that's what dictates how we even put out music. What I appreciate about it now is that, again, we have the control. But I do think that there's an element of superficiality in it as well, that it's like, okay, do I beat them or do I join them? Do I beat them? What do I do? So you have to put out records that people are going to flock to without losing your authenticity. And I guess that's going to be the most challenging part to do it, because I can't sit here and say that I know all the artists out today. Some people say, did you see such and such's video? And I'm like, who is that? Like, I feel like I'm in my own bubble. I'm like, who is that even? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm always the last person to know. They're like, you didn't see such and such? I don't even know who that is. So it's like, the music industry itself has changed. And I think that, it's kind of going to be hard to appeal to the younger crowd, because the way the music that they like the youngest crowd, I would say, the music that they like is different than the music that we like, and the music that we write, and the music that we perform. So it's like, you're going to have to give them you got to give them a little bit, because they control everything. They control, like, it's something when you go to YouTube and you see, gosh darn, this thing got 3 million views. It's like, wow, 3 million. So it's like, how do you do that? So you have to appeal to them. And as far as the industry is concerned, thank goodness I have, again, shouts to my team, a team that can lead me and make certain decisions on how we promote. Because to me, it's like, I'm a creative, but I don't know the industry in and outs and what we need to be doing. So, again, shouts to my team for making those decisions. But it's different, Miz. It's much different than it was even 5 years ago.
These kids nowadays, if you want to get their attention, you got to take your clothes off. That's the only way.
I know. Well, so you know what? I have to say, Ride is one of those records. Now we were supposed to go into production on the video in mid-June. Obviously, we had to delay it because of the pandemic. But the video, we know that there's got to be an element of, just based on the song, the subject matter of the song alone, we know that the video has to kind of mirror the song. Right, so am I prepared to get up and do that? I don't know. But
so let me ask you this: are you in a relationship?
I am in a relationship.
And that person, how do they do, with you singing or performing these songs? They're not going to always play the other person in the video, right?
They're not. But the good thing is that individual is on the team anyway. So it's like, to be supported in that way.
Yes.
Already with the music, that's something that I don't even have to worry about. I don't have to worry about him saying, no, you're not doing that, or no, I don't think that's appropriate. It's like, we're all on the team. And I know who I am as an individual. So, I mean, I don't feel insecure about it, neither does he. And it's like, you know, when you have somebody who's supporting you, you don't have to worry about that.
That's
at
very
all.
important.
At all.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
yes. Good.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Oh my God. All right. Don't worry, I'm not going too crazy with the questions.
Oh, you're good. You're good. We'll talk again off, you know, on the phone, and we'll get deeper into it at some point, you and I.
Okay. Now you have another single out called War.
Yes.
Talk to me about that, or talk to us about that. Tell everybody about that song and what it's about.
War 2020 is in direct response, obviously, to what's going on in this country as a result to the unfortunate murder of Mr. George Floyd on May 25th. And, you know, I think that we had it wasn't going to be the first release, but when that happened, we had a duty to respond. It was our responsibility to say something, you know, and that's the inspiration for it. Obviously, if you hear the lyrics, and you know, we got to talking on the phone, like, we need to say something, we need to write something, and we didn't even go into production on a new track. Juice digged into his crates and said, use this track. I wrote it, we recorded it that Saturday, and we shot the video the following Tuesday, because it was a sense of urgency to say something. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like that was how that song was inspired. And you know, you listen to the lyrics. I had the pleasure of working with Light from the Bush Babies, formerly known as YT. He came into the studio, laid that his part on it, which I feel like it wouldn't have even been the track without him. You know, thanks, Light, bless you for, you know, blessing the track with your presence. But that was what that song was about. And it's like, you know, you have to say something silent, you know, and you have to do it with a certain tone of defiance and anger, so that everyone knows, you know, this is bullshit. You know, we have to say something. And so that's how War came about. That's right. And you know, obviously, well, you don't know, but I'm a huge fan of Bob Marley.
Oh, okay.
Huge fan. And so, like, if you listen, so here's the interesting, you know, if you listen to Bob Marley's words in his song, he released War, his version of War, back in 1976, and it still resonates today. You know, it's just like that just goes to show you the condition that our country is in. You know, when people say, systemic racism anybody that says that systemic racism doesn't exist or generational hurt doesn't exist, all you have to do, the biggest evidence of that, is go back and listen to our music, our art, our poetry, our film. We have the same messages in our music that we did back when Bob Marley wrote War. And even more interesting than that, the lyrics in Bob Marley's version of War is based on a speech that the Emperor Haile Selassie I delivered to the UN in 1963. So from 1963 to 1976 to 2020, and the messages are still the same. You know, that to me says a lot in and of itself. So
it sure does.
So we're hoping that War 2020 is almost like a timestamp, if you will, like you know, like a documentary of, you know, in 2020, we as Black folks and people of color were still dealing with this nonsense. And so it is war. It is war. You know, it's like, you know, we can't sit here and just, you know, it's one thing to say something and it's another thing to take action. I don't have the answers, but I knew it was my responsibility to at least say what I felt in my heart. And that's how the team and I approached it. So we did it. We did that.
That's good. Yeah. Yes, I heard the song. I like the song, and it's a great message. So you gotta keep putting out them songs and keep putting out good messages. And I like that you're very well rounded. You know, I like that. You know, you have many different styles, and that's great. It shows your versatility.
Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Yeah.
And also putting out songs like War is needed. You know, because a lot, especially in our music nowadays, when you hear it's very rare now that you hear people speaking up about, and it's in their music and in their art about what's going on.
It is. Now, is it the most popular thing to do? I mean, I can't say, you know, I don't know. Obviously it might not be the most popular thing to do, but sometimes you just have to do what you know is in your heart. And that's how we approached it. Well, you know, I would love to say that it's going to be this big movement. I would love to say that. But again, like you said, Ray, you know, in our music, the way things are, it's not necessarily the message that's being put out there. And I appreciate, you know, like Beyonce and her putting out singles, you know, putting out songs like right around the time when I released mine. Like we released War Juneteenth, and they as well came out with songs on Juneteenth. And I was like, wow, you know, I feel like this was a good, you know, an amazing decision to put that song out there. And I felt like, okay, I'm amongst queens that are thinking the same way that I think. Now, do they know who I am? No, of course not. But to me, that was validation. Like, okay,
we do though here on From the Ground. No, we know who Krystal Klear is, baby.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much.
I wanted to say something to you about a statement that you made about the kids and that they control, you know, the internet and the views. Sure. And one of the things that this is just my opinion. I always feel that we have to get away from allowing that to control how our success.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you have people that would do anything for numbers, and then people like you who are talented and is really about the art of music.
Sure.
If you don't want to compare yourself to everybody that just has high numbers, because not everybody, some people are in it for raise word, in it for the fast penny, and that's it. They don't even care about really the art. They just want to see how many people are watching. So,
right.
You know, the numbers it's good, but it's not everything.
It doesn't define you, no. And it
right, exactly.
You know, what's so funny you should say that is because I know myself as an individual, that never defined who I was ever with anything that I did. You know, in this age of social media, I was probably one of the latecomers to social media. And even when I got on social media, I didn't define myself or let it be this thing to validate me. And so I think as an individual already, I have that mindset that I'm not going in it for the numbers. Like I said, you know, I'm doing this. At this point in life, I have nothing to lose. I'm doing this because I think for the first time in life, I can really say that I'm living authentically who I really am as an individual, professionally, personally, creatively. And okay, so why not express that through my music? And I want to do it in an artistic way. And I'm hoping that the young kids will flock and say, yo, this is fly. But even if they don't, you know, I mean, it's not going to define who I am as an artist. And I agree with you. And then and you don't let it define you as an artist. I think a real artist will feel that way. So I agree with you 100%.
I'm gonna give my opinion on the numbers, okay? I look at especially the artists who have the high numbers, the 3 million. Those are viral artists. They like all those other them stupid videos that go viral. They're only there for a minute, you know?
Right.
That's all it is. And if you define yourself by them viral videos that got 3 million, you're not looking at longevity.
You know? And that's the key, longevity. That is the key, longevity.
And not only that, a lot of people are buying numbers. So some of them numbers ain't even real.
Oh,
so
sure. Oh, yeah. They got so many tricks, so many things that you can do. Oh, and I'm just like, okay, what are you saying? Like, you got to go and register here and do this and click on that and put these things together. I'm like, okay, I don't know any of that stuff. We want to be as authentic as we possibly can. And that is the key.
Yep. You get the real fans, the fans that will constantly follow you. You know?
Supporters.
Absolutely. And it's gonna carry through. It's gonna show. You know, I mean, once we start releasing more tracks and everyone gets to see all of the sides, I like to say, of Krystal Klear, you know, all the different genres. Hopefully they'll see, you know, this is a real person who's not afraid. You know, we're not trying to fit in one little neat, tiny little box. You know what I'm saying? And we're not gonna do that. So you know, hopefully they see that authenticity right from the beginning. You know, just like War is you know, how does she go from revolutionary to raunchy, or, you know, like, you know, so how does she go from revolutionary to risque and ride? You know, how does she do that? Well, that's who I am. You know, I mean, I have different sides just like anybody. And I will challenge anybody that would say that I have to fit into a small box or suppress one part of myself. For what? For who? For whose purpose? Why do I have to suppress any part of me? I can be romantic in one song and revolutionary in the next.
That's right.
I can be fluid that way. And you should be fluid that way. That's what I would tell them. Don't put yourself in a box.
That's right. Trust me, I can relate. I know exactly what you're saying because I be saying the same exact thing.
Exactly.
What I love about you is that you have your own sound. You have your own style. You don't sound like anybody else.
Oh, I appreciate that.
And that's so important because when you turn on the radio, and that's one of the reasons why I don't know, like you said, I don't know who's who because I heard them all today. I don't know who's who. And it's not to say that they're not talented. There's so many talented people out there. Sure. It's just that I can't tell the difference between who's who because people are afraid to be themselves.
They are, and it's almost, and I hate that. I really do, because they are talented. You hear these young ladies and young men coming up, and they are talented. I wouldn't take that away from anyone, but they're trying to fit into this mold, and it's coming off so cookie cutter. It's like, you know, like you said, you don't know one from the next. And I don't want to be that type of artist ever. I've never wanted to be that type of artist, but it's, you know, it goes further than that. It's just, again, being with a team. You know, Juice is the type of producer where he's fluid with the music that he creates. He can create hip hop. He can create rock. He can create R&B. He can do ballads. He does all of it. So when you have a team of producers that can help you bring that out in the different genres, you know, like if I want to do something, if I want to sing something angry, I might want to sing it over a rock track. If I'm feeling romantic, I might, you know, give me a ballad. You know, it's like I have a team that supports that and that can help me bring that forth, you know, and it's not all cookie cutter. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a blessing in and of itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you want people to know that we didn't get to ask you?
Oh my gosh.
Anything, lay it on the line.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'll just say I have, you know, my team teases me all the time because they always say, oh, you know, oh, here's another side, you know, of her. Like, oh, I thought I saw all the sides of you. And today, now you Lucky Luciano. Today, you know, there's like all these different personalities come out. I mean, I you know, I don't know. I just have to, I can't think of anything that I'm.
It's not for us. I just want to make sure that I covered everything. And of course, I want you to give all your social medias, tell people how they can follow you and support you. But I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything.
You didn't. My social media is very easy. Everything is at Krystal Klear Music. Okay. Instagram. You go follow me on YouTube. Krystal Klear Music is my YouTube channel. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Twitter. Okay. So I'm everywhere. My website is krystalklearmusic.com. And my website, I'm gonna, you know, my EPK is there. You can download. And then as far as my website, I'll, you know, any new releases that we do, I'll promote on the site. Okay. And you'll see me on social media. And hopefully, very, very soon, we'll be able to go into production on Ride and any other video.
Yes.
So you know, I have the sound now. I got to give you all the visual, right? So I mean, we're gonna do it eventually, as soon as things.
Well, we've been looking forward to that. I'm trying to say we gonna see what's up with that.
Wait a minute. You and I have a project. I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking about it, but you and I.
Look, I was like, we're gonna talk about that behind the scenes, but yes, which I love.
I'm gonna say, every so often a female anthem emerges, and this is a female anthem in the making. So when you and I do that, we're gonna get that one in, and we have other things that I'm sure we're gonna collaborate on in the future. So that'll be coming up soon, hopefully in the fall sometime. So
yes, no, it's happening.
It is.
I've just been so busy. Oh my God, got a lot of stuff going on.
It doesn't stop, Miss.
And I love it. I'm gonna tell you, I wrote to it, and then I was like, I don't like that. I love your hook so much. I was like, oh my God, it's not good enough. I gotta do it over. That's why it's taking me so long.
It's gonna be so sexy. I'm just like, well, I already got the video in my brain and everything. So just you know, take your time.
Sounds like a trip to Florida to do the video, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't know if Ms. wants to come down here in this. You know, I mean, if
not yet.
Not yet. But I mean, it's gonna be the sexy women's empowerment anthem. You know, I don't know if 2020, because like you said, Ray, 2020 is almost gone.
2020 is over. It was over in March.
Yeah, 2020 is gone. Golly, it's such a shame. But we're gonna do this. We're gonna get that one in, and then we have other things that I'm sure we're gonna work on together.
Right.
So, yeah, absolutely.
So just give your social medias one more time.
Yes. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Krystal Klear Music. You can find me on my website is krystalklearmusic.com.
And spell the Krystal
Klear Music. Krystal. Oh, that's right, because it's with a K. Krystal, Krystal Klear Music. Krystal Klear Music.
All right.
And I just appreciate everyone that's taking the time to follow me, like and subscribe, and just help me, get this thing. We're growing, we're building, we're working. So I appreciate it so much.
Yes.
That's already a fan and following. So.
Definitely.
And I thank you for giving me the platform to get a little visual.
Of course.
Nobody.
Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. So this will be like the first visual, the first video, really, that's going to be out there. They're going to say, oh, okay, now I can actually put a face to the sound, So I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Listen, we appreciate you for being here.
You.
We wish you nothing but the best. You're going to be successful. You are already successful. Your music is great. You are beautiful. So listen. There's nothing that can stop you. Nothing that can stop you. Okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, sis.
Thank you. We are going to get into your song and we're going to play it for the people. And we thank you so much for coming on From the Ground Up. And we will talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
This is it, no backing down. Now we burning and looting this town. It's open season, we get no peace and we choke. We bleed virus and disease. Kill our voices, take our choices. You're taking the knee until we can't breathe. Mama, I'm gonna fight tonight. Mama, I'm gonna die tonight. We say war. We say war. You wanna wage war? We gonna fight, we gonna fuss before we let you take us down. We say war. We say war. Black man, black woman, don't forget your cross. 'Cause if we knew who we would never, ever, ever have to war. Follow me forward. I see the way you're looking at me. My panties wet, you know you got me ready. You look so good, you're fucking hard to resist. You better have the biggest dick on the strip. You make my pussy drip, you're licking your lips. I'm fantasizing about you licking my tits. I never thought I'd feel so nasty tonight. I'll be your nasty girl. Do you wanna ride? I feel your body grinding, such a sexy girl. And I know you wanna fuck in this club. Yeah, she's so hard, you make a girl fall